Hi, I'm so glad you're here. This is Anna, and today I'll be sharing a technique where I make my own satin vellum using Nuvo embellishment mousse. I will also be featuring some products from Trinity Stamps to make this card. If you have embellishment mousse in your stash, you can easily create your own specialty paper to use in your cards. This mother of pearl mousse has been in my stash for more than 4 years. I know some crafters get very discouraged when they see their mousse has dried up, but I have an easy way of refreshing it so it can be used again and again. I use a piece of cling film to cover the jar before closing the lid. This does not prevent it from drying up, but will certainly slow down the process. I take a little bit of the mousse and using a spatula, I place it on my glass mat. Then I give it a couple of spritzes of water and start working it into the mousse. If I feel like it's a little hard to move around, I spritz it some more. Using a spray bottle helps me control the amount of water. Then I keep working it until it has the consistency of buttercream icing. I took a piece of vellum or parchment, either will work. Then with my finger, I start spreading it all around. I do it a little at a time so I can control how much I place on the paper. I suppose I could have used a blending tool, but I found that my finger allows me to spread it more evenly with minimal wastage. The paper will warp a little because of the water, but it will not matter as you will see later on in the video. This is what it looks like when it's dried. It has a lovely satin sheen, but it still maintains that beautiful translucent quality that vellum is known for. For my card, I will be using this stamp set from Trinity Stamps called First Bloom. I placed the satin vellum on my stamping platform and prepped it with an anti-static powder tool. I inked up the stamps generously with embossing ink, which is a clear sticky ink. Closed the door of my MISTI and pressed it firmly onto the paper. Then I took some liquid platinum embossing powder and sprinkled it generously all over the panel. I took the heat gun, which I had preheated for about 30 seconds before I took it to the paper, then started heating it from the back before moving it to the front. For the background of my card, I used this beautiful quilted cover die on a piece of pearlized cream cardstock. This die has a coordinating stencil which you can use to add some dots or hearts in between the stitches, but I decided to use Nuvo crystal drops instead. And this one is called Ivory Seashell. I had let this panel dry overnight before using it on my card. For the matting, I heat embossed the edges of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white cardstock. I did cut down the quilted panel just a little, about 1/8 of an inch on all sides. I then added liquid glue to the back and adhered it onto the heat embossed panel. Over on the side, I had already fussy cut all the flowers and leaves to use on my card. I arranged all the flowers and leaves into a cluster in the middle of my card, leaving just a little room on the bottom right where my sentiment will be. I added liquid glue to the ends of the leaves and started to adhere it onto my card panel. I placed very little glue at first so that I could move it around before finalizing the arrangement. I adhered the biggest cluster by placing glue in the middle of each of the flowers where the glue would not show up in front. Then I decided I wanted to pop up the smallest flower, so I took some dimensional silicone clear tape, snipped off just a little, and placed it in the middle of the flower. I removed the plastic backing and adhered it onto the card. I will also add small bits of dimensional clear tape at the back of the leaves and a small flower bud. Here is a look at my finished card. Everything about this card has that satin glow. I added the sentiment, "Praying for You," which comes from the Sentiments for Almost Everything stamp set. I hope I have inspired you to give this technique a try. If you enjoyed this, I have a few other techniques that you may want to check out, which is linked at the end of this video. If you are interested in any of the products I used, I have them linked below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Till next time, bye!